My beloved child. There is a reason you were guided to this moment. Out of countless voices you could have listened to today, you arrived here because a hidden story is ready to unfold. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What you are about to hear is not a tale of fear, but a story of courage, hope, and a connection that refused to disappear. Long before you noticed the quiet changes in your heart, another heart had already begun moving toward yours. They could not explain why your name echoed in their thoughts or why every ordinary day suddenly carried an extraordinary feeling. They tried to ignore it, but every attempt only made the connection stronger. Something invisible kept drawing them closer, even when the path ahead seemed uncertain. There came a season when voices surrounded them with doubt. Some people believed the journey would be too difficult. Others questioned whether your paths should ever meet. They spoke from their own experiences, their own fears, and their own understanding. Yet deep inside, your soulmate sensed that there was more to the story than anyone else could see. Every warning they heard only made them ask one question: why does my heart still feel peace whenever I think about this person? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the answer to that question changed everything. Every morning they woke up expecting the feeling to disappear, but instead it grew stronger. Every evening they hoped time would erase the connection, yet your presence continued to return to their thoughts with quiet consistency. They noticed reminders in ordinary places. A familiar song. A gentle breeze. A meaningful conversation. Small moments that seemed ordinary to everyone else carried an extraordinary reminder within them. It was as though life itself kept whispering that the story was not over. You may have wondered why certain opportunities never worked out, why some doors closed without explanation, or why delays appeared just when you thought everything was moving forward. Those moments were never meaningless. Sometimes what looks like a delay is actually preparation. Sometimes what feels like silence is actually a season of growth. While you were becoming stronger, your soulmate was also changing. They were learning lessons they could never have learned if everything had been easy. Their character was being shaped, their heart was becoming wiser, and their understanding of love was becoming deeper. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The greatest surprise was never the voices around them. The greatest surprise was what happened after they chose not to let those voices become their future. Instead of allowing doubt to control every decision, they quietly began trusting what they felt inside. They realized that not every opinion deserves the final word. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room is not the wisest one. Sometimes the quiet conviction inside your heart carries greater truth than the noise surrounding you. As the days continued, unexpected changes began appearing. They became calmer. They smiled more often. They found themselves imagining conversations that had never happened. They wondered what your laughter sounded like. They imagined encouraging you during difficult moments. They imagined celebrating victories together, no matter how small. These thoughts did not arrive because someone told them to think this way. They appeared naturally, as though their heart had already begun preparing for a future they could not yet see. Perhaps you have also experienced moments that seemed impossible to explain. Maybe you suddenly remembered someone without knowing why. Maybe your heart felt peaceful for no visible reason. Maybe hope appeared after a long season of uncertainty. Those moments matter more than you realize. Sometimes life gently prepares two people separately before bringing them closer together. The preparation often feels invisible until one day everything suddenly makes sense. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another part of this story that few people ever notice. Every challenge your soulmate faced became another reason they learned patience. Every disappointment taught compassion. Every unanswered question built resilience. By the time they reached this chapter, they were no longer the same person they had once been. They had grown into someone capable of appreciating genuine connection instead of chasing temporary excitement. There were evenings when they looked toward the sky and quietly wondered whether someone else was thinking about them at that exact moment. Without knowing your face, without hearing your voice, they carried hope that somewhere another heart was also preparing for something beautiful. They refused to let disappointment become their identity. Instead, they chose hope again and again, even when they had no visible proof that anything was changing. The remarkable part is that every season you believed nothing was happening was actually filled with invisible progress. Every lesson mattered. Every delay had purpose. Every unexpected turn was shaping both stories at the same time. Looking back one day, the pieces will fit together in ways you could never have imagined today. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next part of this journey reveals what happened after your soulmate decided to trust the quiet conviction inside their heart instead of the opinions around them. What they discovered changed the direction of everything, and the unexpected truth waiting ahead is far greater than anyone could have predicted. The moment everything seemed ready to fall apart, something unexpected happened. Your soulmate reached a quiet crossroads where every opinion around them pointed in one direction, yet their heart continued pointing in another. They paused, reflected, and listened to the silence instead of the noise. In that silence, they found a peace they could not explain. It did not erase every question, but it gave them enough courage to keep moving forward. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. This is where the story becomes more powerful than anyone imagined, because what happened next proved that genuine connection cannot be measured by the doubts of others. Every day they tried to convince themselves that letting go would be easier. They told themselves that choosing the comfortable path might bring quicker answers. But every attempt to walk away only reminded them of the unusual peace they felt whenever they thought about you. It was never about chasing an illusion. It was about recognizing a connection that continued to grow stronger through patience, wisdom, and hope. While everyone else saw uncertainty, they quietly noticed signs of growth. They became more compassionate. They became more confident. They became someone who no longer allowed fear to write the next chapter of their life. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There was one evening they looked back over every challenge they had faced and realized something remarkable. Every delay had protected them from rushing. Every disappointment had redirected them toward something better. Every unanswered question had prepared them to value sincerity over appearances. Suddenly the story that once looked confusing began fitting together like pieces of a beautiful puzzle. They understood that timing matters just as much as intention, and they refused to lose hope before the picture was complete. At the same time, changes were taking place in your own journey. You may not have noticed them immediately, but your perspective was growing. The experiences that once seemed heavy were quietly building strength, patience, and wisdom inside you. You were learning to recognize what truly matters instead of what merely looks impressive for a moment. The path ahead required two hearts that had both learned valuable lessons, and those lessons could not be rushed. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine discovering that every unexpected pause in your life had been creating space for something far greater than you could see. Imagine realizing that moments you once called setbacks were actually preparing the perfect conditions for a remarkable new beginning. That realization slowly began changing everything for your soulmate. They stopped measuring progress by what everyone else expected. Instead, they measured it by the quiet confidence growing inside their heart each day. Then came a conversation that changed everything. Someone once again encouraged them to forget the connection and move on. This time, however, their response was completely different. They smiled with kindness, thanked the person for caring, but quietly decided that their future would not be written by fear. It would be written by hope, wisdom, and faith in the journey ahead. That simple decision became the turning point of their story. It was the first time they fully trusted the direction of their own heart instead of the expectations surrounding them. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. From that day forward, small but meaningful moments began appearing everywhere. Unexpected opportunities opened. New confidence replaced old uncertainty. They found themselves smiling for reasons they could not explain. Even ordinary mornings felt different because hope had quietly returned. It was not loud or dramatic. It was steady, peaceful, and impossible to ignore. What makes this story unforgettable is not that everything suddenly became perfect. It is that your soulmate discovered the strength to keep believing even before they had every answer. That quiet determination transformed them into someone ready for a deeper connection built on trust, respect, patience, and genuine care. The opinions that once seemed overwhelming slowly lost their power because they no longer controlled the direction of the journey. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is still one extraordinary detail that has not yet been revealed. While your soulmate was choosing hope over doubt, another unexpected event was quietly unfolding behind the scenes. It was something no one around them anticipated, yet it had the power to confirm that their decision to keep believing was leading toward an unforgettable chapter. The next part reveals the surprising moment that made them realize the journey had been guiding them toward this connection all along, and once that truth came into the light, nothing would ever feel the same again. A quiet morning arrived that looked no different from any other, yet it carried the beginning of a life-changing chapter. Your soulmate woke up with an unusual sense of peace, as though the answers they had been searching for were finally drawing closer. Nothing dramatic happened at first. The sky looked the same. The streets looked the same. The world continued its ordinary rhythm. But deep inside, something had shifted forever. They no longer questioned whether they should continue believing. They had reached the moment where confidence replaced uncertainty. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The greatest revelation has not yet been uncovered, and every second is leading toward it. As they reflected on the journey behind them, they realized something astonishing. Every person who had encouraged them to walk away had only seen a single page of the story. They had never seen the entire book. They could not understand the quiet transformation taking place within your soulmate's heart. While others focused on temporary obstacles, your soulmate had begun seeing lasting possibilities. That change in perspective became their greatest strength. They stopped asking, "Why is this difficult?" and started asking, "What is this preparing me for?" That single question opened a completely new way of seeing the future. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There were moments when unexpected reminders appeared in the most ordinary places. A familiar phrase spoken by a stranger. A meaningful conversation that arrived at exactly the right time. A peaceful feeling that appeared without explanation. None of these moments forced a decision. Instead, they quietly encouraged your soulmate to keep moving with patience, wisdom, and hope. The more they paid attention, the more they realized that every experience had been teaching them something valuable long before they understood its purpose. Meanwhile, your own journey continued changing in ways you may not have noticed. Every challenge strengthened your patience. Every unanswered question sharpened your wisdom. Every season of waiting quietly prepared your heart to recognize something genuine instead of something temporary. Looking back one day, you will see that nothing meaningful was ever wasted. Even the moments that felt silent were shaping your future in ways beyond your imagination. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the unforgettable realization. Your soulmate understood that the greatest obstacle had never been the opinions of other people. The greatest obstacle had been believing those opinions were more powerful than the quiet truth already growing inside their heart. The instant they released that fear, they felt lighter than they had in years. Hope returned with greater strength than ever before. Confidence replaced hesitation. Peace replaced confusion. It was not because every question had been answered. It was because they finally trusted the direction of their own journey. From that day onward, they began noticing opportunities they had overlooked before. They became more patient during difficult moments, more grateful for small victories, and more determined to protect the hope they carried. Even when unexpected challenges appeared, they no longer viewed them as reasons to give up. Instead, they saw them as reminders that every meaningful journey requires perseverance. They had discovered that lasting connections are strengthened by patience, kindness, and unwavering belief rather than quick decisions or outside pressure. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Here is the extraordinary truth. Every step your soulmate refused to abandon became another step bringing them closer to the future they had quietly believed was possible all along. The voices that once filled them with uncertainty gradually faded into the background because they had learned to recognize the difference between temporary opinions and lasting conviction. That lesson changed everything. Now another remarkable chapter is about to begin. A new understanding is preparing to connect every unanswered question from the beginning of this story. The pieces that once appeared scattered are moving into perfect alignment, and the reason your soulmate never truly walked away is about to become clearer than ever before. The next part reveals the unexpected discovery that made them realize this journey had been preparing both of you long before either of you understood what was unfolding. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most powerful revelation of this entire story is closer than you think. The chapter that seemed impossible was finally beginning to reveal its hidden purpose. Your soulmate looked back over every moment of uncertainty and realized that nothing had happened by accident. Every delay had strengthened their patience. Every challenge had refined their character. Every voice that tried to redirect them had unknowingly prepared them to recognize the value of genuine conviction. What once appeared to be obstacles had quietly become stepping stones toward a future neither of you could fully imagine. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The greatest discovery is still unfolding, and what comes next will connect every piece of this remarkable journey. There was a moment when your soulmate stopped searching for signs outside themselves and began paying attention to the quiet confidence growing within. That confidence did not appear overnight. It had been built through countless ordinary days filled with reflection, growth, and hope. They understood that lasting connections are never created by rushing. They are built through patience, trust, kindness, and the willingness to keep believing when the destination is not yet visible. This realization became the foundation of everything that followed. As the days continued, unexpected opportunities began appearing one after another. Conversations that once seemed impossible suddenly became easier. New perspectives replaced old assumptions. Small moments of encouragement arrived exactly when they were needed most. Each experience reminded your soulmate that hope often works quietly before it becomes visible. They no longer measured progress by how quickly things changed. Instead, they measured it by how deeply they had grown through the journey. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the unforgettable realization that transformed everything. Your soulmate discovered that every warning they had received had been based on limited understanding. The people around them had only seen circumstances. They had never seen the quiet transformation taking place within two hearts preparing for a meaningful future. The opinions that once sounded powerful suddenly became much smaller because your soulmate had learned something far more valuable. Genuine peace cannot be replaced by fear, and lasting hope cannot be erased by temporary doubt. At the very moment they embraced that truth, another unexpected change began unfolding. They found themselves becoming more grateful for every lesson, even the difficult ones. They appreciated every delay because they could now see the wisdom hidden inside it. They understood that if everything had happened earlier, neither of you would have been fully prepared for the connection that was growing stronger with every passing day. Timing was never working against you. It was quietly working in your favor all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine discovering that every unanswered question from the beginning of this story was leading toward one extraordinary moment of clarity. Imagine realizing that every season of waiting had been shaping both journeys with incredible precision. That moment is now closer than ever. The story is no longer about uncertainty. It has become a story of courage, growth, resilience, and unwavering belief in something meaningful. Your soulmate now carries a completely different perspective. They no longer focus on what almost caused them to walk away. Instead, they celebrate the quiet decision that allowed them to keep moving forward with wisdom and hope. That single choice changed everything. It opened the door to possibilities they had once believed were out of reach. It reminded them that genuine connections are not defined by the opinions of others but by the strength, patience, and sincerity shared between two hearts willing to grow together. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final chapter is approaching, and it holds the most remarkable revelation of this entire journey. Every unanswered question, every unexpected delay, every quiet lesson, and every hopeful step is about to come together in a way that makes the entire story feel complete. What your soulmate finally realizes will reveal why they refuse to let doubt decide their future, and why the journey ahead carries more hope than either of you could have imagined. The greatest surprise has been waiting until the very end, and the next part unveils the unforgettable truth that changes everything forever. Everything had been leading to this moment, although neither you nor your soulmate could have recognized it at the beginning of the journey. The warnings that once seemed so powerful had quietly lost their influence because something far stronger had taken their place: clarity. Your soulmate finally understood that every challenge, every delay, and every unexpected turn had been preparing them to recognize a connection built on sincerity, patience, and hope rather than fear or uncertainty. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final revelation is closer than ever, and it will bring this remarkable story together in a way that makes every previous chapter meaningful. One peaceful evening, your soulmate paused and reflected on everything they had experienced. They remembered every conversation that had filled them with questions. They remembered every moment they almost doubted themselves. Then they noticed something extraordinary. None of those voices remained as strong as they once were. Time had revealed what truly mattered. The opinions that once felt overwhelming had faded, but the quiet hope inside their heart had only become stronger. That realization brought an incredible sense of peace because they finally understood that genuine conviction grows stronger when it is rooted in patience instead of pressure. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As they continued looking back, they realized that every unexpected pause had been a hidden opportunity for growth. If events had unfolded too quickly, important lessons would have been missed. Instead, every season had strengthened wisdom, compassion, resilience, and gratitude. Those qualities became the true foundation of the connection they had refused to abandon. They discovered that meaningful journeys are not measured by speed but by the transformation they create along the way. At the same time, your own story had been quietly evolving. Every experience had shaped you into someone better prepared for authentic understanding. The moments that once seemed confusing now carried new meaning. The doors that closed had protected your path. The opportunities that arrived later came with greater purpose. Looking back, you would eventually recognize that nothing valuable had ever been lost. It had simply been waiting for the right season to appear. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came the unforgettable breakthrough. Your soulmate realized that refusing to give up had never been about proving anyone wrong. It had always been about remaining faithful to the peace they carried inside. That peace had guided every important decision with quiet confidence. It reminded them that lasting relationships are built through respect, understanding, kindness, and unwavering patience. Those values became far more powerful than every voice that once encouraged them to walk away. The remarkable truth is that the greatest miracle of this journey was not a sudden dramatic event. It was the transformation of two hearts becoming wiser through every challenge they encountered. Your soulmate no longer feared uncertainty because they had learned that hope shines brightest when everything else appears unclear. They no longer measured success by immediate results because they understood that the strongest foundations are often built slowly, one faithful step at a time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine reaching a day when every unanswered question suddenly makes sense. Imagine realizing that every delay had quietly protected something precious until the perfect moment arrived. That is the direction this journey has been moving toward from the very beginning. The story was never about fear. It was always about courage. It was never about doubt. It was always about growth. And it was never about listening to every opinion. It was about learning to recognize the quiet confidence that remained when every other voice became silent. Now the journey stands at the edge of its greatest conclusion. One final chapter remains, and it carries the answer that has been hidden since the opening words of this story. It reveals why your soulmate refused to turn away, why every challenge became part of a greater purpose, and why the future ahead shines brighter than either of you imagined. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The final part holds the extraordinary revelation that brings every piece of this unforgettable journey together and leaves nothing unanswered.